Welcome Whisky Aficionados to review number 61, and we're looking at Bushmills 16-year-old single malt, 40%, one of my favorites. Before we get going, I'd like to say a big shout out to Jesse at Stillet. You look up his channel on YouTube. He is a guy in Palmerston North, and he started distilling, all things distilling, and he's created a channel. It's very successful, and I believe he's going to be sending me a sample of his whiskey. So remember, Jesse, you've got to do that. But look him up because it's a great channel. Make sure you subscribe. Before we get going, I'll just pour this, but before we get going, need to tell you about an Irish farmer. He walks into the neighbourhood pub and orders a Bushmills. Now, he's a local, he's reasonably well known, and he says to the bartender, he says, you know, with my own two hands, I built the fencing round the lock. I dug every hole myself, I put every post in myself, and I'm known as Flynn, the fence builder. No. Has another dram, and he gulps it down. He says, listen, he says, you see that pier on the lock? I built that with my own hands. I swam out, I did the foundations, I laid every board. Am I known as Flynn, the pier builder? No. And he gulps down another whiskey. He says, in this town, I don't know, you shag one sheep. Anyway, I love Bushmills Distillery. In fact, I was there, 9 months ago. Went with my family. My father and I did the tour, and my mother and sister stayed in the cafe drinking whiskey, would you believe. It's in County Antrim, so it's not too far from where I hail from, and it was a great experience. We saw the entire operation. It was quite a walk actually, but good to see. Fantastic aroma when you're walking around the place and you get the history tour and everything. It's the oldest licensed distillery in the world, and a license was granted in 1608 by King James. I didn't think they started making it at that point, but that's when the license was granted. So let's have a look at this. Let's see, someone's got into this. I don't know what the hell's happened here. But anyway, 40%. It's the 16-year-old rare single malt. It's a 3-wood whiskey. And this particular one, it's been matured in sherry casks, bourbon casks, and then it's been finished for the last 9 months in what they call a port pipe. A port pipe holds about 550 litres, so it's a real big barrel. And it's so term is 3-wood. Anyway, it's usually, you know, my impression of the Irish whiskies are that they're softer, they're gentle, they're a great start to the evening. On the nose, that's beautiful. Nice sort of amber color, you just see that. And on the nose, we got sort of biscuits, toffee, maybe a little nutty, a bit like myself. It's a beautiful, beautiful, creamy toffee nose. Taste, that's beautiful. That's sweet. It's fruity. You get a little bit of dryness coming through, and that's probably from the sherry fill. And just that tiny amount of something like chili spice. It might be pepper spice, but it's a long-lasting finish. And for 40% ABV, it sort of tastes a little bit more, you know. But I would like to see Bushmills start to produce this type of whiskey, like their 16-year-old, at around about 46 or 50% ABV, just to see what would happen. But this is absolutely exceptional. I love it. I love Irish whiskey, especially at the beginning of the evening. Overall, I'm going to give that around about 88 out of 100. It's up there. I like it. It is only 40%, but it's beautiful. Anyway, next we're going to look at a local distiller, just down the road in fact, and it's Thompson Whisky. This is the South Island Peat, and it's a progress report, and I like what they're doing here. It's a progress report. In other words, they know that things are going to get better. So I haven't tried this yet, and we're going to do this in the next next review, number 62. 46%, so I'm looking forward to that. Folks, make sure you subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and until next time, be safe. Sláinte.